What's going on, guys? Welcome on into today's video. We are talking indicators on TradingView. We're going to walk you through how to set them up, how to utilize them, and all of that jazz. We're going to keep this as short as possible so you can get in and get out with what you need. If you like the video and it's helpful, consider sharing with a friend. Maybe you're subscribing or check out other videos on the channel. We have a TradingView playlist we're building out. We got plenty more where that came from, other platforms, other tutorial type videos, all that good stuff. There'll be a link in the video pinned comment and description box to sign up for a free 30-day trial of TradingView if you haven't done so already. I'm currently using the premium version of TradingView. I think it is certainly worthwhile. However, you don't need to do that. You can get a free trial for 30 days, use premium, then see how it goes. And if you want to renew, sure. If not, then don't. Use the free version. It's up to you. There will be some restrictions, which we'll cover some of those here in this video. So a couple things to note really quick before diving in. There are some restrictions, and as you increase or as you go up in terms of the plans, you're going to be able to add more indicators. So the Pro version allows 5 indicators, the Pro Plus 10 indicators, and the Premium 25 indicators per chart. So there are a couple of things that you just need to make sure you are aware of. And if you're using the free version, I think there's even a 3 indicator limitation. So just something to make sure you're aware of before we dive into it. But I'm on the home page right now. Just type in tradingview.com. You'll come to a page that looks like this. If you don't have an account, sign up. Great. If you don't want to, then don't. But we're going to go over and check out an individual stock here today. So let's go over to the stock section. Let's look at Apple and let's dive on in. I currently have a 1-year chart of Apple pulled up, and what I can do really quick to adjust my chart, my settings, all that stuff on the bottom left-hand side, there's the time frames you can go off of. But if I click on the y-axis, the prices right here going down from lower to higher as we go up. And if I want to move this, I can kind of shrink my chart in a bit so I can see this a little bit clearer potentially, or I can zoom in, whatever you want to do depending upon the time frame and how the chart looks. So here's our look at Apple right now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some indicators. So right now I am looking, if I go up to the candlesticks in the top right, I have a hollow candle selected. I like to look at hollow candles. You don't have to. There's also some great videos going over different candlestick patterns on the channel already. There should be a playlist down below, and we have a couple of videos diving into what hollow candles are, all the stuff, how it works, and if you're confused on that. So, you might not need to worry about this just yet, and it's a separate video altogether. So if I want to add some indicators, there's a bunch of different tools on the left-hand side. I can add in some text. I can go over here, add a brush tool. I can do all these cool different things. It's great. Awesome. But what I want to do is I want to go up into the top little bar. I know it's small, but the top section where it says indicators. Okay. Click on indicators and boom, just like that, I have this little window that pops up, and now I got a lot of indicators. That's one of the really cool perks of TradingView, let's say versus like a Robinhood or like a Webull or other platforms out there. They make it super easy to view all these indicators, and they have a lot more where that came from. Robinhood has very, very minimal. They do have a charting feature on the web app version, but there's minimal indicators, kind of like your basics, but there's a lot more where that came from here when it comes to TradingView, okay? So I'm in the indicator section, just straight up indicators. Like this is what you're going to see. Now there's a lot where that came from, and you might realize that, to be honest, like 99% of this stuff is just, it's not relevant to me. I want to look at the basics. I want the RSI on there. Let's go to RSI, Relative Strength Index. Boom. Here it is. Pull up the RSI, click on that bad boy, and it's popping up on the bottom of our screen. So there is the RSI. That's how we can add the RSI. If I click on the star right here, it's going to add to my favorites. So that's all that star means. If I'm going through, and I want to have a favorite list of indicators, it's a good idea to have them starred. So maybe your basics, your RSI, your MACD, maybe your volume profile. Like those could be very, very good indicators that you want to have as your favorites. So if I go back to technicals really quick, let's go over to let's type in volume. If I go into volume, there's a lot where that came from. Maybe I want to add in net volume, or maybe I want to go to volume weighted average price, which is the VWAP. So I can pull up the VWAP indicator right here. There's a line that has popped up on my chart right here in the background. Let me just click on this and star that. So that's the VWAP. Now, if I want to go on to a shorter time frame, like a 5-day chart, now I'm going to have some indicators popping up on my screen. My VWAP indicators right here, the volume weighted average price. And what we can do is if I wanted to zoom in here on this, we can get a better view of how this is looking for this. In this example, it's Apple. We're looking at a 1-day chart right now. So each of these candlesticks, I believe, is now 1 minute. Now, you can see that there's 3 different lines. So you have your lower VWAP, you have your middle VWAP, and then you have your upper VWAP. If you don't want the lower and the upper, which to be honest, I don't tend to use, I like just having the main VWAP line, here's how you can go and change that. So once your indicator pops up on the left-hand side of your screen, I'm going to go in here and I can click hide, I can click on settings, edit the source code, all that great stuff. If I go to settings, that's going to be what you want to look at. So the little settings symbol right here. Now here's your inputs. So I don't want to calculate the bands. If I click on get rid of the, or if I uncheck calculate bands, it's not going to calculate the upper and lower bands of VWAP. For me, I don't care for that stuff. Maybe for you, you do. So it's really kind of up to you. I can now also click on hide VWAP on the 1 day or above. VWAP is much more of, let's say, a shorter term intraday type of indicator. So maybe you don't care to look at the VWAP indicator or VWAP line on a chart that's a 1 day time frame or higher, right? So weekly charts, monthly, there's no, maybe you don't want to look at that. And you can click on that right there and set it up. I go to style. Here's where I can change the colors, which is actually really, really cool. So go in here. I like using white for my VWAP line, especially with the darker background. So I'm going to use white as my line. In this case, the bands, I can select the bands too, but I'm not going to select them because I don't have them checked on the other page. And that's that. Outside of that, at the bottom, some other interesting aspects to add in here is labels on price scale. So if I look on the right-hand side, see how it has a 139.48? That's currently where the VWAP is. And it's indicated by the white on the price scale. If I was to change my VWAP to, let's say, pink, now it has this as a pink, price right there. So it tells you the VWAP on the price scale on the right-hand side, the y-axis. That's helpful. I think it's actually very, very helpful to have that checked. So it's something to think about. Also, I can change the thickness of my VWAP line, which I might want to make maybe like a little bit thicker because a stock might, come down, test my VWAP line, then it might dip just below, or it might come, just north of it. So having a thicker line could help with stocks who come into range pretty close, but don't exactly touch the exact to the cent line. Maybe that's what you want to do. That's how you'd go about doing that. Okay. Now really quick, if I go over to the more section of my indicator on the top left, I can add a lot of other things to this VWAP. And I can have things set in kind of different orders if I would like to. So there's a lot that you can do. But some of the basic stuff that you need to know is what we've already covered, how to go in and add the indicators to your charts. Now, if I want to hide them, right, there's this little hide symbol right here. If I click on hide, all it's going to do, it's still going to show a VWAP up in the top left. But what it's going to do, it's going to hide that from my view. So I'm no longer going to be able to see that on my chart, okay, if I don't want to, which I think is potentially very, very useful. Okay, so now I kind of have things set up. Now, in this case, since the RSI is an indicator that kind of comes in on the chart below, it's not going to show up in the top left where the VWAP will be. So if I want to add more indicators that are going to be overlaid on my chart, they're going to show up right near where the VWAP is, right under the VWAP. But the RSI in this case comes in below. So I'm going to have to go into the RSI right here on the bottom, and I'm going to have to hide that if I don't want to see it. Or I can click on the X and remove the RSI completely, which for me, I don't like to use it too much, so I'm going to get rid of the RSI in this case. And that's kind of a basic walkthrough of how to utilize these indicators on your charts here on TradingView. There is a ton more where that came from when it comes to how to use this powerful platform. Even under the indicators, there's even financial indicators. You can talk about gross profit, revenues, all that stuff, balance sheet. There's a lot more where you can kind of sort through and mess around with. On top of that, if I have my own scripts, I can kind of create my own scripts here and add my own scripts. If you kind of are more advanced on that side of things, that could be a different video that we can create going forward in the future on how to go ahead and do that. If you're interested, let us know in the comment section down below. Okay, so when I click on an indicator, it's going to pop it up on the top left or on the bottom of my screen if it's an indicator that also overlays underneath my chart. For example, this one does here as well. I can click on delete. If I want to delete, I can use the settings tool to add and edit and change what I want to change on those indicators. And then I can click on the little eye symbol to show it or to delete it and whatnot. So in this case, as we're watching right now, Apple has now fallen below the VWAP, and it's no longer actually holding that VWAP to be an area of support, which it kind of showed us at the beginning of the day. The first few minutes, it kind of was chopping around VWAP, and it got above. Now it's below. Looks like some negative momentum for now, unless it can regain that volume weighted average price and push back the upside. Listen to any questions, any comments in the video comment section down below. Again, there'll be those links to get the free trial for 30 days if you want to. You don't need to, but if you want to start adding more indicators and using more features, you're going to have to either at least try the free trial or potentially upgrade the TradingView platform that you have. It's relatively cheap, to be honest, compared to other platforms out there. We're going to have a lot more videos detailing other aspects to this platform if you want to learn more. Definitely check out the playlist we have on TradingView, or stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe for future videos. Also should be a link to a webinar covering 3 trading signals to add to your arsenal. Check it out in the video description box below if you're also interested, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.